In early 2022, Facebook got rid of a lot of detailed target audiences, and they also are dealing with some issues with tracking on iOS devices, which you probably all know about, but it's getting more and more difficult to find the perfect audience for your product or service. Now, that doesn't mean that's the end to, getting the right audience in front of your ads. So in this video, I want to go over some tips and tricks on how to target your audience better in 2022. My name is Kevin Schrage. I am the owner and founder of Brand Arrow, a marketing agency helping businesses grow. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is using your copy to filter out the wrong people that should be seeing your ad or taking action on your ad. So what I mean by that, at the very beginning, try to call out the specific person that you want to advertise to. So for instance, if you're trying to target photographers, say, hey, photographers, and then talk about whatever you're trying to sell them and put that at the very beginning. That helps filter out people that aren't photographers. If you want to get more specific, try to find out, like, let's say it's wedding photographers. Hey, wedding photographers, and then talk about wedding photographers. So that's the first thing I really recommend doing, is using copy inside your ad to call out the specific person that you're trying to target. You do need to be careful with this. Sometimes Facebook doesn't like you calling people out specifically, especially when you use the word you, like, are you a photographer? That's not always the case. Test it and see if it works or not. But you can definitely try to call them out and see if it. The other thing I would say too is you got to be careful on certain personal attributes, for instance, religion. So if you can't say, hey, are you Jewish and want to, my product or service. So you got to be careful on some of those personal attributes, but that is a great way to call out your target audience and get specific on who you're trying to target. The second thing I would say is using your creative, your images or videos in your ad, to also use that as a way to filter out the audience. So let's go back to the example of wedding photographers. If you are targeting wedding photographers, let's throw an image up there of a photographer, and then to get more specific, let's have that photographer taking a picture of a couple in a wedding. So now you got a wedding couple and a photographer, wedding photographer. Pretty obvious that you guys are targeting a wedding photographer. And then also add it in that copy. Now you've got some copy and creative that's filtering out the people that do not belong in your product or service. Third thing I would do is use very specific pain points targeted around your target audience, and they're gonna have a very specific pain. So if it's wedding photographers, maybe it's, dealing with their hectic schedules to take all their pictures during the photo shoot, something like that, or the quick turnaround they have to have on the pictures. But focus on their specific pain point and not all photographers' pain points, right? So all photographers, it could be something around camera technology or something, but wedding photographers is very specific. Like, it's an event that happens really fast and they got to be very organized. So talking about something like that. Now, the next thing that I would recommend doing is using all of this on your landing page. People forget that, the landing page is very important. So if you are using a landing page or you're sending traffic to a website, highly recommend using a landing page to be very specific on the audience that you're talking to on the landing page. So if you're doing wedding photographers, same thing. Use wedding photographers up in the headline. Use images that show wedding photographers. Make sure this product and solution is very, very specific towards wedding photographers. The whole 9 yards. You can even get really crafty, and this gets more advanced, but you can also use what they call dynamic text or dynamic images. And you can really hone in on very specific copy or images on your landing page by pulling copy from your ad onto landing page and making it very specific for that person. So if you have a generic landing page and you want to target wedding photographers, dynamic text can say, hey, instead of what photographers, hey, wedding photographers. That gets more advanced, but very important to make sure that your landing page is getting very specific on the audience that you want to target. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, whenever you are targeting audiences in Facebook, don't try to get too narrow. So try to go broad first. And go broad with your audience and use your copy and your creative to get targeted with your audience. But I would definitely test this. So use an audience that's a little bit bigger. Try to use some smaller subsets of that audience to see which one might work better or not. And then let the Facebook algorithm go find the people that you're trying to target. The main thing here is not to let the detailed targeted audiences that you normally would use in Facebook set you back if they're being removed. Try to get creative inside your detailed target audiences. Another couple examples real quick too is they did take away, another big one is they took away religion. They took away, I believe, took away the politics too. So For religion, you could try to focus on like certain states that might attract more religious people. Same thing with politics, go after red states, blue states type of thing. Specific areas, like for politics, cities usually are more Democratic, and then you go out to the rural areas, more Republican. So those are some examples, but you need to get creative with your targeting on how to find the right people that you need to target. So hopefully this helps you with your targeting. I know it's been a kind of a headache with the changes that Facebook had, but I promise you, if you follow these steps, you will get much better results in your ads. I really appreciate you watching this video. I always appreciate whenever you subscribe, like. There's like a little ding dong bell that helps you get notified on new videos. And if you have any other suggestions, throw it down in the comments, or any questions, throw it down in the comments. Really appreciate it. Thank you, and thanks for watching the video.